morning, students. Welcome to this video. The major purpose of this video is to prepare you to um, manage assignment 3, the assignment that is on Excel. Actually, this is assignment 4. The term is the semester is rapidly moving by. So I would like us to move forward as quickly as possible to get all of the final stuff done. So I am here logged into our e-learning site, and I want to begin firstly by pointing you to the assignment and the details of the requirements. So you scroll down to Unit 4, which is on Microsoft Excel, and here you have assignment 4. When you click on this link, you would be taken to the assignment page, and all of the details you will find here. So notice it's an individual task, it's not group work. You all would be doing your own work, each of you. And this is the task. You are to create a Microsoft Excel spreadsheet for an end of term result. So you're imagining that you have a class of 20 students and you are recording their marks using an Excel spreadsheet for the end of the term. So these are the requirements for the sheet. These are the specific things that you must have for this assignment. You must have a header with technology in education being on the left and assignment 4 on the right. You must have a footer created by, and this should be center aligned. That would be yourself, your name will be there, and the date on which you create the file will be on the right. So you have to enter the date in the footer. Now in the sheet itself, you must have some headings. These are the main headings. And I have just randomly called a fictitious school, Rabuka Primary School, grade 4 final mark sheet. These must be in 3 separate rows: bold font, uppercase, merge and center across the sheet. Right, all of these things I will be pointing out quickly how to do this stuff if you are not already familiar with Excel. Now D, the main table, this is the mathematical part of it now. You must have your table headings from left to right. So that's down here. Your table headings would be just like this: last name first name, and these are the examination scores for 4 different subjects. You need in this column the average score, position in class, and comments. Right. So I think it would be faster if I just show you a sample, a completed sample of a sheet. So you would have right up front an overview. And hey, I am surprised. I see that 4 persons have submitted assignments already. That is really great. You have 3 days left. I am thinking of extending a bit so that all can get them in. Definitely next week though. I will do an extension of the deadline, and hopefully I would be expecting everybody to get your sheets in by next week. Right, so the document must be saved as file name. This would be your file name, and you can upload to this site. I know the file will not be too large for you to submit directly using the assignment button, and so that each person would have your file attached with as your submissions, so that when we are ready to grade, we would just click on the file and assess the sheet. Okay, so that's just an overview of the assignment. Now these are the specific formulas that I expect you to use: the average formula, the rank formula, and the if formula. Those are 3 required ones, and I will point out in a while how you will go about using those. So what I will shift to now is to go straight to a sample sheet. So I have one here. Okay, so this is open in Excel, and this is what I expect your final sheet to look like. This is the header up here, and notice that it is not a usual cell, it is the header of the page. So unless you have this information in the header, you will not get your mark, right? Then these are the um, sheet headings, and they are center aligned, notice, and merge and center, so you're not seeing separate tables, separate cells here, right? These are the names that you will have. Now the data that you will use is uploaded to the Moodle site as well, but it's in PDF form. So my expectation is that you would view the PDF file, which will download to your computer, and you can then get the data, the student's name, and these grades, these actual scores you must use it, so that I'm expecting everybody to have the exact um, results. Okay, so this is the footer down here. The last time this assignment was done, it was a group assignment, so it was created by the group members, but this time you would just have created by your name only, and here is the date on the right side here. Okay, so this is what your file would generally look like. Okay, so I will move away from that now and move towards incomplete file where I will demonstrate how some things are done. Wrong sheet, so that goes there. The incomplete file is this one. Right, so here I have um, the information in the student's name and the scores for the individual subjects, but I do not have the other stuff as yet. So I want to begin firstly with some editing tips. Now in this cell, in Excel, each of these little boxes are called your cells. Each section along here is called your columns, and your columns are named with letters of the alphabet. So I am in column A here. This would be column B all the way down. And you have what are called rows. Your rows are numbered using numbers. And here is the label of the cell that I am in. So column and row combines would give you the specific location, the specific cell. So I am in A3 here. If I was just to click another cell like this, notice that it changes to A4, E4. So I am now in column E, row 4. So this cell is called E4. What is the name of this cell in which 79 is entered? This is E18. It's the same column, but now I am down at row 18. So this is E18. That is how the cells are named in Excel. And it's useful for you to know that, because when you are entering formulae, you normally would reference the cells by using that notation. Okay, so I am going to do a bit of editing on the Rabaca Primary School here, which is type. It was entered in A3 in this cell, but I want it to spread across the sheet. So I will drag along the row. I am dragging here all to the end of where I want my sheet to end. And all I will do now is to move back to the home button up here where I have my tools, and I have this feature which is called merge and center. So it will merge all of these cells into one, and at the same time it will center the text. So here now I have my Rabaca Primary School across these columns centered, and I might want it to be bold. I might want to change the font type to Times New Roman. So I search for that. Right, ST Times New Roman, regular, size 12. Yes, that's what I need. So you see, I have formatted that cell, drag it across, merge and center, and I change my font type and also my font size to the required. So the same can be done for grade 4, which was entered here, final mark sheet, which was entered here, because you are told that you want those three headings to be merged and center across the page. Now we are seeing this blue dotted line coming down here. This is your page highlight. So notice that I am in portrait form, and in order for me to get my page spread across these other two columns, I might need to change my page format then. So I come up here to my menu, I click on this tab which says page layout, and I am provided with a new ribbon, and here I have orientation, which I am interested in, and I need to change to landscape. Aha, notice the blue line is now covered. So this section will now cover everything, which is what I have here, and here is the horizontal one, so that's just nice for what I need. Okay, so that's formatting there. All right, so I move now into discussing one of the formulae which you can easily use. Now you know that average means that you add up all the scores and divide by the number of scores. In Excel, you do not have to go and use your calculator and do the computation. Excel allows you to enter these inbuilt formulae, and there are so many, man. It is a very, very powerful tool. So I am just exposing you to a few basic ones that you would need for a spreadsheet of this nature. So every formula in Excel, whenever you are entering a formula, you begin with the equal sign. So I click equal, and I want the average formula. As soon as I start to type AV, you will see it pop up. So I click average, and it is helping you. It's very user friendly. So it's kind of like asking you at this stage, what do you want to average? And I want to average from this number here, from this math score, and I will drag right across here, from here, drag right across to here. I want to average these four numbers. Notice that it has changed. So I am averaging C8 to F8. That is exactly what I need. So I just click enter, and ta-da, there's my average. So the average for Shellian is computed here to 69. Now, Excel allows copying of formulae down the road as well. So I do not need to go and enter this formulae over and over and over to come down the line here. All I have to do is to come up here, go to that little corner until I get this little dark cross, and I hold it and drag down the line where I want it to be copied all the way down here. I let go, and ta-da! That's all my averages there again. All right, so you see how easy it is. So the average for all of the students are now computed there. Now, as I look here, I see I'm not seeing position in class written all the way. Yes, now I'm seeing it there. So I just increase the width of my column here. You can always come up to the column area. Once this sign is at the border, you can drag to adjust accordingly. Right, now I need position in class here. Now there's a formula that is called rank, which is what I normally would use for this, because what you want to do now is to rank all these numbers from the highest to the least in terms of, so this will show who is number one in class followed by who is number two. So how do I start my formula again? Whenever you're entering a formula, you start with your equal sign, and I already know that that's the rank formula. In these later versions of Excel, you have what is called the rank EQ, the rank equal, which can work, and you also have the straight rank, which is the older one, and the rank average. Now I recommend either the rank, the straight rank, or the rank EQ. I'm going to use the rank EQ. I would explain a bit of why that means. What this really means is that we are accustomed to this. If there are two or more scores final scores that are the same. Okay, sorry about that. I exceeded my time and had to break. So when we left off last, I was just about to enter what is called the rank formula in Excel. And this is what we will use for showing us the position of each student in class on this end of term examination. So I begin with my equal rank, and I said I am using the rank EQ. The straight rank can work as well. Okay, what do I want to rank? I want to rank this number, which is G8. That's where it's located. All right. And I want it to be ranked in reference to all of the other numbers that's under it in this column. So I will use now absolute referencing. Whenever I want to use absolute referencing, I put a dollar sign before the column letter, which in this case is G. So I want to um, ensure that the G8 does move, G8 to um, dollar again, dollar G dollar, and I'm coming all the way down to 27, G27, 27. All right, so you see it highlighted. So I am going to rank this number, which is the top one, in reference to all of the others, including itself, all of these down to here, and then the output that is normally in this formula for this case is 0. So comma 0, that's the order, that's the completed formula there. I hit my enter now. Okay, so this number 9 is actually telling me that the number 69 is in the ninth position starting from the highest. Okay, so now all I need to do again now is to copy this formula down the line. And because I had absolute referencing for the range, for the reference, for the entire column, these will not change as I move along down the line, as I copy down the line. Otherwise, if I did not put the dollar signs, as I copy down the line, each will change accordingly, and that's not what I wanted for this particular formula. So now I can copy with confidence down the line. Here I got the little dark cross and I pull down all the way down to here. Copy cells is what I want to do. Okay, so these are my positions then. Okay, now I mentioned the need for using the rank EQ or the straight rank, and I could explain here now. If we notice number 1 is found here, so which means this student, Zipporah Douglas, is first in class with an average of 79. But notice that following just on her heels is Vinette Joseph with an average of 78.5 and Janet Otley with the same average. So these students, this is what is normally done in our system, would be second. So we have two students being second place in class, which means there will be no third. And notice the formula is not giving us any third. Now, if you had used the rank EQ, what the formula would have done is to take these two numbers and average them. So instead of it being second, you probably would have had the average being 2.5 with decimals, and that is, we do not want that. Right. We also had two other scores further up. I think it was fifth, yeah, two persons placing fifth. So which means there is no 6. So that's ideal, exactly what we needed here. So take note again, this formula can be a little tedious. Equal, rank EQ is the name of the formula, brackets, G27, which is, this is the one I am in now, but I actually entered it up here. So it was G8 in reference to the entire column. So I fixed the column using what is called absolute referencing. So when I copy, it doesn't move. it will be G8 to G27 all down the line, and um, the comma 0 is for the output, close bracket, and that's your formula for showing the rank in class. Now in this comments column, I want you to indicate whether the students have passed or failed. So there is a formula that could allow us to do that as well, and this is where, well, the if formula is very versatile. It can be used to do various things, such as what we want to do here now. So we click equal again. All formulae in Excel begins with that equal sign. Equal if, right? We need the if formula, and notice the following the name of the formula, there is always brackets. So if this number, which is 69, and how do I reference this number again? That is G8. This cell is G8, and once I click it, notice it comes into the formula here. If G8 is more than, oh, you already use 50 as the pass mark, eh? So if G8 is more than 50, comma, write pass, P-A-S-S, okay? Otherwise, if not, oh sorry, I had to use double quotation mark here to say write pass. Otherwise, which would mean anything below 50, you double quotation mark fail. All right. So that is how you will enter that formula. You just click enter and notice that it says pass here. So okay, I will pause for a while. Okay, there was a little distraction there, so I resume again. Now I have my comment in. Now all I have to do is copy down again. So I look for this dark cross and I copy down the line. All right, and there is my comments, and notice that yes, there are some persons who have failed, two of them. Right. So the first data sheet that I submitted on the e-learning site, actually I did not realize that everybody would have passed, and I did not want it to show up like that. So I had removed that first one and uploaded a new one, which is this one, I think. So that I'm not too sure if it's this identical one, but it does have some people that will fail. So, all right, so that completes those three columns. This one is your if formula. This one is your position in class, which is your rank formula. This is your average. Of course, to get the average per subject, you will enter your average at the bottom of each column. So again, equal average. And this time we want to average all of the math scores. So we go up here, we pull them all the way down there, which is C8 to C27. That's coming down the column now. Hit enter. That's your average for maths. And we want to get the average for the other subjects. So I just pull it across again, copy across, and I will also copy the overall final average as well. So there they go. I just copy across there. They are already formatted as bold. So you can use your discretion. Ensure that you follow the requirements for the formatting of the sheet. The other thing you might need to know is where to find your header and footer. That can be found in your insert ribbon. So I click insert, and here is the button for your header and footer. Click on it and you will find your way around to enter your header and footer for the page. Alright, so that's about covered it. If there is any need for any specific questions, feel free to contact me. As I said earlier on, time is running out and we need now to push on quickly. So see you then soon, and I will extend the deadline for this assignment by a couple days. All right then, all the best.